Alright guys, you got your boy Jesting here today, and today we're back with some new stuff here to guys here today. It is going to be my first ever moveset video for Meowscarada, and that is going to be for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. I do recommend you guys leave the video if you're not looking to see any spoilers for this Pokemon. So again, I'm recommending that you leave the video if you do not want to see spoilers, but if you don't care about the spoilers and you want to know about the competitive potential of this Pokemon, then go ahead and continue watching this video. I have a few movesets that I think people will want to try with this Mon, and it seems like it'll be a lot of fun. Anyway, let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first thing I want to say about Meowscarada is I do love the design. It looks very cool. It almost swayed me from going to Grass Starter, but I'm already going Team Fuecoco, and I can't go back on my team. Anyway, any freaking way. Let's go ahead and get started with talking about this Mon, its abilities, its typing, and the movesets I prepared for you guys here today. So the first one here is going to be its abilities. So abilities is Overgrow and Protean. Now, Overgrow will probably be a ability that you do technically want to use on more of these setup sets. Protean got nerfed this generation, so it's not as amazing as it used to be. If you guys don't know, Protean used to be able to change your typing after every single move was selected. So if you were to go for a Psychic move, that Pokemon becomes a pure Psychic type. Then if you go for a Dark move, then it becomes a pure Dark type on that turn that it uses that move. However, Protean now only works once per battle. So the minute you come in, it gets that typing. So whatever, the minute you come in, you use a move, that's its typing. So if I go for a Leaf Storm with this Pokemon, then it means it becomes pure Grass, and it only works that one time per battle. So that means if I switch it out, then it means it won't get any additional typings after. So the ability kind of becomes useless after, but it is still a pretty good, interesting ability to potentially open up with, because that means you can at least kind of manipulate your weaknesses, which this Mon does have a lot of. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started and talk about the movesets I prepared for you guys here today. So, first moveset is going to be a Choice Band set. Now, I do think Choice Band is going to be great for this Pokemon because this Pokemon has a amazing base 123 speed. That is very good with a base 110 attack stat, which is not too shabby. So I do think Choice Band would be a wonderful starting set for this Pokemon to immediately come in. It also has a lot of good potential moves, and yeah, that's why I do think this is going to be the set. But let's go ahead and talk about the set. U-turn is always really good for scouting, and that's really just it. You kind of get in, hit something pretty hard, and you can get out, which is really nice. This is its new exclusive move, Flower Trick. Now this move always crits, and it never misses. That is a amazing move. Of course, its base power of 70 is relatively low, but remember, you're always critting, you got stab, and it never misses. So even if this Mon has some, even if the opposing Mon has some type of ridiculous ability that it can resist or something, but the fact that it has no accuracy checks and it always crits, that is going to be potentially good. That is a potentially strong move right there. Flower Trick seems like a beautiful move. So that is why I do 100% recommend that you run this move, even just for the setup damage. Next up is going to be Knockoff. Knockoff has always been a wondrous move ever since it got its buff to the 65 base power and the effect that, of course, knocks off items. This is always good just to kind of damage your opponent in the long haul. You can always just kind of cripple out something, you know, potentially make something less bulky if you knock off with leftovers, or make something hits less hard with knocking off potential items like a Life Orb, a choice item of their own, and stuff like that. And we have Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch is for priority. Now, with its 123 base speed, you probably won't be needing Sucker Punch just as much, but it could potentially be a nice tech option if you want to out-prioritize something. So if you're at a low amount of HP because Meowscarada does not have a lot of bulk, then you could potentially come in, go for the Sucker, and then you could potentially have the priority game on top. Now, if you don't want to run that, you can potentially run other moves as well. There's a lot of other moves it has in its tech move pool, like Break. You can run Thunder Punch on it. You can run Trick, I believe, on this Mon as well. This Mon does have access to Trick. which could be really, really good. So if you're at like a low amount of HP, or if you really want to cripple something that always comes in on Meowscarada for free, or it just doesn't take a lot of damage for it, then you could potentially trigger it, because it more likely will be a bulky target. So giving that target the choice band will be able to crip it, especially if it's more of a bulkier mon. So that's potentially a tech option that you can add there. I did go for Sucker Punch just for the potential just high, high priority, high risk, high reward type of thing. So there's that. The next set I have here is a Focus Sash lead set. Now, I really wanted to go for a lead set because this mon gets access to both forms of spikes. It gets access to both spikes and toxic spikes. With its, again, beautiful 123 base speed, it should not have a problem with leading up at least a couple layers with the Focus Sash item. So if you do lead with this mon, I do recommend you do go Protean. Protean for this one works a lot better than the offensive set. You can even just run Overgrowth for this one if I'm being completely honest. Even the next set I have here, you can run Overgrowth for. But having Protean for this with its beautiful 130 base, you will be able to manipulate its typing in any which favor you like. So if you see the opposing Pokemon does not have trouble with poison types, you can just go straight for the toxic spikes. If you have a little bit better advantage as a ground type, you go as regular spike, and then you just go in from there. I of course gave it knockoff because knockoff is just going to be too good of a move. I mean, come on, man, knocking off the opponent's Pokemon item is always going to be great. It's always going to be great no matter what situation that you're in. And then you have Taunt just to stop other opposing Pokemon from setting up on the Meowscarada, because you're not going to be focusing on this offense. You don't even have to even invest into attack EVs, I feel, with this set, because with your whole set just kind of being there just to kind of get the bulk up, kind of get the bulk of your hazards up, you can just go for the HP and then just be fine. With this 110 base attack, you should still be able to hit it relatively okay against most targets, so that's going to be good. And of course, Taunt is going to be there for the effect. Now, the third one is not going to be something common, but I wanted to try it because it does seem like a fun set. I did try this out in a few battles and actually did get a couple surprise sweeps, but just kind of a standard sweeping set with a Life Orb. Now, you could run a similar set with the physical set with Hone Claws, and then you kind of just run in one of these moves for that, and then you run Life Orb and stuff. But I wanted to try running a special set. Now, while its special attack stat is not as great as its attack stat, obviously being a 81 base, it's still not bad because it gets access to Nasty Plot. Nasty Plot, of course, gives you a +2 special attack stat, and then you have our 2 stabs of Dark Pulse and Leaf Storm, which hits mostly everything for okay to very high amounts of damage and U-turn. If you do not want to deal with the -2, there's other moves you can run. You can run like Energy Ball, you can run Giga Drain for more HP or sustainability. There's a few moves that you can run out here. Like if you Energy Ball being 90 base power is still pretty strong and also has a chance to lower special defense. So you can run Energy Ball if you do not want to worry about running this move. Now, I'm running Leaf Storm because of one of the tech items that I have here. One of the tech items that I definitely recommend you want to try is going to be the Blunder Policy. Now, if you guys don't know what the Blunder Policy does, it says it right here. If you miss your Leaf Storm, which is the only move that can't miss with this set, by the way. If you want to run a little bit more of a accuracy down type of thing, then there's that. But if you miss this move, then you get +2 speed, which is already good, which is why I kind of opted more for Modest nature if you want to run that. If you want to run Modest, that's completely fine because 345 speed is still pretty strong. It's still enough to outspeed most mons. Of course, it won't outspeed, I think it's base 105 mons and 105 and above if they're running a plus speed nature. So I don't think you want to, but if you want to feel like if you're comfortable with running a Modest nature, that's just fine. But I do think that Timid would probably be the main set choice here, even though you get a little bit less special attack. 261 is not the greatest, of course, but you're going to be going in for that Nasty Plot turn 1, and then you're going to be going in for your damage like that. So there's a lot of things that you could potentially run with this set. I do think Overgrow could potentially work a little bit better on this set because, well, you get the stronger grass stab when you're at low HP. Since you're going to be nasty plotting up immediately, you might take a hit. With 70 base defenses, you should be able to be fine. You should be able to take most things fine. Remember, it's multiple weaknesses, so make sure you are aware of that. But that's going to be that. These are the sets I have here for you guys here today. Let me know what you think about Meowscarada in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.